Whew. What is going on, folks? My name is Spice. This is Spice Can't Fish, and we have yet another mystery tackle box unboxing. We're getting to the big ones now, folks. So today's video is going to be on this. This is the Motherlode. This has 11 to 15 items in it. They say this is about an $80 value, so this is going to be a real big box. Now, I don't know what the deal is going to be, if there's going to be a ton of baits in here, if there's going to be a few baits that are really expensive, but regardless, I am really excited to see what's in this one. The last few boxes have been really good. I've been super surprised. In the past, I've not been stoked with mystery tackle box. I feel like I've been let down a whole bunch recently, or at least in the past when I've been getting their boxes. But these last few that we've done in these last couple of videos have been really solid boxes. If you guys want to see any of the other videos, I'll leave a link down below for you guys. I've got a whole playlist of them at this point, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll leave that link down below for y'all. But yeah, we've got quite the unboxing ahead of us, so I'm gonna get right into it. I'm not gonna waste too much more time on this little intro. We're just gonna get right up into the box and see what's in the old Motherlode. Alright, there we go. Finally, God, that was way more difficult than it had to be. Alrighty, let's see what we got up in here. Alright, pretty solid little selection of baits. Let's try and find this little card up in here somewhere. Alright, so as per usual, got ourselves a little sticker. Got ourselves the old Dibbles Digest, which obviously is going to go in the trash. I never read those things anymore. Got ourselves the, actually I don't even know what this is. This is just like a where to fish Headbanger Spitfire. I guess we got a Headbanger Spitfire in here somewhere. And then we also got ourselves a little Motherlode card in there. Apparently you can go to that website, motherlode.com, and put that little promo code in. Supposedly you could win a 175 size bass boat, so that would be pretty fun. Ah, there it is. I figured there's going to be a list in here somewhere. All right, how many baits do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so got the bare minimum baits in this one. Just got 11 baits, but hopefully there are some pretty interesting things in here, some stuff that'll bump that price tag up a little bit. All right, so first up, this is the bait that they were talking about, that little spotlight bait. This is the Headbanger Spitfire. So a multi-jointed topwater bait. This thing's super interesting. I've seen them around here and there. I don't really know a whole ton about them, but they're supposed to have a super unique action along the surface of the water. Definitely gonna have to take that thing out and see what it does. Again, I've never really heard about them all too much. I've just seen them around here and there, but we'll definitely have to mess around with that in the future. Maybe we'll do a full video dedicated just to this little Headbanger thing, but that's a pretty interesting little bait right there off the rip. Alrighty, next up we got a Duo Realis Vibration Nitro. So this is like a little all white bone lipless crankbait. It's a 5/8 ounce, so a little bit heavier than a 1/2 ounce, but again, just like a normal crankbait, or lipless crankbait, I should say. Got a really interesting shape to it. I've never seen a lipless like that before. I've never even heard of these, but they look pretty sweet. Duo Realis makes some pretty good stuff, so I'm sure this is a pretty solid little bait right here. It almost seems like thicker and wider than your average lipless crankbait, so that's probably got a little bit of a different action to it in the water, but we're gonna have to mess around with that thing in the spring, see if we can get some fish on it. And they call that color Smoky Bone, so just like a normal all white bone with just a little bit of light gray around the eyes right there. All right, next up we got the Weston Bass Bite, which is like a little square bill. This is a 3 to 5 foot diver, I want to say. They call this color Chartreuse Blue Cross, so really interesting looking color there. Not something that I would ever pick up myself, but it's just kind of like a mix between a cross style imitation and then also like a sexy shad. Really interesting. I've never really seen anything like that. It's got like the shad dot and then like a normal like sexy shad almost, or a citrus shad kind of color scheme, but it's also got like the little crawfish pattern to it as well, so definitely kind of a weird mix. I think I'll probably just use this as like a baitfish imitator. I don't think it'll be too much of a crawfish imitator if you're asking me, but pretty interesting bait regardless. I've never heard of these bass bite square bills, but looks pretty good. It's kind of a wide square bill, so I'm sure it's got a pretty erratic action. That should be pretty solid for a little bit later in the spring once the water warms up a bit. Alrighty, next up we got a Castaic Loco 8 crankbait. So this dives, I'd imagine, to 8 foot. Yeah, 6 to 8 foot diver. They call this color Ghost Sexy, so it's just like a ghost sexy shad, as you could probably imagine from the name. Super translucent, super transparent and see-through. But again, just like that normal sexy shad color, got a little bit of a chartreuse stripe in there. Pretty interesting looking color, something super, super natural, with just a little bit of a pop of color in there. Really, really like that. I don't really fish a whole lot of medium diving crankbaits, like 6 to 8 foot divers, but this is definitely a pretty solid little addition to the arsenal right there. I don't really know a whole ton about Castaic baits. I know that they're known for some soft baits or some swim baits that they have, but I don't really know about their hard baits all too much. But regardless, that looks like a pretty good little bait right there. Excited to throw the thing around, maybe find some little bit deeper holes and see what this thing can do in the spring. Alrighty, next up we got ourselves a Guggen Squad Zinger. This is the 3/8 ounce in just the white color, so just a straight white. I really like these Zingers. I've gotten a few of them and used a few of them in the past. I've gotten quite a few of them in the past few mystery tackle box videos. If you guys have seen any of them, you've seen these Zingers in a variety of different colors. But yeah, got another one. This one's in a white color. I really like the white, just a straight white shad imitator. I definitely need some more all white spinnerbaits, so that's definitely going in the box. And the Zinger is one of those Guggen baits that I really like. I think they did a pretty solid job on this thing. It's made pretty well, lasts super long. All the components on it are pretty solid, pretty quality, so overall, not a bad little spinnerbait right there. Definitely stoked to get another one of those in the box. Alright, next up is something super interesting. This is the Catch Outdoors Zero Gravity Jig. So this is something I've never seen before. This is really, really strange. It's apparently a slow fall lead-free jig. So this is something I've never seen before. It's a slow fall jig. Supposedly it's got a rate of fall of 1 foot every 3 seconds. So it's supposed to be for super slow presentations. If you're flipping something, you want a really slow fall on a bait, this is what you're looking for. I don't even know what they would consider this, like what weight it is, but it's kind of a bigger size jig. Like the head on it is actually pretty big, but it's overall really light, as you would probably imagine for it being a zero gravity jig. This will definitely have to do a video on in the future. I'm really interested to see what this thing can do. But yeah, I've never seen that before. I don't know what they call this color, but it's kind of like a bluegill, green pumpkin, regular pumpkin, yellow, orange mix. Really interesting. I've never seen a color exactly like this in a skirt for a jig, so definitely gonna have to toss this thing around. And I will definitely be doing a video on this thing in the future just to see what's going on with it, because that is a really interesting idea. I've never seen anything like that before. Alright, we also got one of these in here. This is the Thunderhawk Buzz Toad. I've actually used these before. I did a video on one of these. If you guys want to see that video, I'll leave a link down below for you guys. But these things are kind of interesting. It's essentially you can build your own buzz bait. Comes with a detachable hook and then like its own little soft plastic on it. But yeah, it's just kind of like a detachable buzz bait blade with a little bit of a weight on the bottom of it. So you can change out the hooks to something bigger or smaller to kind of change your presentation. Super interesting idea. Again, if you guys want to see how well it works, I'll leave that video link down below for you guys. But this is in the olive head watermelon color, so just kind of like a normal watermelon colored frog, and the olive head is referring to that weight on there, so it's just like a dark green color as well. But yeah, these things are kind of interesting. I know they're kind of expensive as well, which is probably why they put it in there. They probably want something that costs a ton of money so they can say that it's still worth $80, but regardless, these things are kind of interesting at least. So yeah, pretty cool little bait right there. Alrighty, we also got a pack of the Harmony Fishing EWG hooks. I believe these are just either a 3 or a 4-aught. Comes in a little 3-pack right there, which should be perfect for throwing around some of the soft plastics that came in this box. But yeah, just your average hooks, nothing super special about them. The little gap in between where the eye of the hook and then the actual beginning of the bend is a little bit longer than your standard hook, but other than that, they look pretty similar, pretty normal to like a standard EWG hook. But yeah, good to get some hooks to throw around with some of these soft plastics that we got down here in the box. Alrighty, speaking of the first pack of soft plastics we got out of here is the Carl's Amazing Baits Flicker Worm. These are like a little wacky rig or Texas rig shaky head style finesse worm. I want to say this is like a June bug color. It's just like a dark blue with like some bright blue flake. I'm pretty sure that's what they would consider it. It's just a June bug. They don't have the color name on it or anything, but pretty solid little worms. I've used these before, just not in this color. The color looks pretty solid. I know the worms work, so these are definitely pretty good. I'm sure they don't cost all that much to make. So again, just another one of those little filler baits, although a pretty decent filler bait at that. But yeah, these come in like a 6 or a 7 pack or something like that. that. Pretty solid little baits right there. Definitely gonna catch some fish on these in the spring and summer. Alrighty, next up we got a pack of the Lake Fork Trophy Lures Hyper Sticks. These are in the green pumpkin gold purple flake color. I've gotten these in, I want to say 2 or 3 boxes now, something like that, but pretty solid little baits. They're just like a normal Senko style bait. The main difference is they have these little notches cut out of them just for a little bit of extra action on the fall. Really interesting, should be good on like a weightless Texas rig or a shaky head or something like that. And yeah, just a green pumpkin gold purple flake. There's also some red flake in this color as well, but they don't mention that in the name for whatever reason. But pretty solid looking little baits regardless. And yeah, I now have a bunch of packs of them, so I'll probably be giving a couple of packs to you guys at some point in the future. I've got a little giveaway pile that's kind of slowly growing as I'm doing these mystery tackle box unboxings, so we'll probably throw these in a giveaway at some point or another. But yeah, pretty solid little baits. I just have a ton of packs of them now and I don't need all of them, so these will probably end up with one of you guys. All right, and the last bait we have in here is the Lucky John 3D Kota Shad Tail. So this is a 4-pack of these little swim baits. These are really interesting looking. I don't know what they call this color, but it's really cool looking. But yeah, these are essentially just like these little 4-inch ultra realistic swim baits. They're really cool looking, like I said. I don't know what they call that color, but it's like a yellow with a purple back. I've never seen a color like this before on a soft plastic. But yeah, really lifelike looking baits. They smell absolutely horrendous, but they look really sweet. They're from Japan, obviously. These Lucky John baits are Japanese baits. But yeah, they say you could use these on a drop shot, a Carolina rig, a jig head rig. These would also probably be good on like a little underspin. Use them as a chatterbait or a swim jig trailer, spinnerbait trailer, anything like that. Just some really sweet looking little baits right there. Super excited to throw these things around. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the entirety of this box. Pretty solid little box. It didn't come with a whole ton of baits, which I'm not super stoked about, but other than that, it's got a pretty good little selection in there. I was hoping for something like 13 or 14 or 15 baits or something like that, but the fact that they only gave me 11 baits kind of sucks, although there are a couple of baits in here that are probably worth a good amount of money. So I guess quality over quantity is not a bad thing per se, but yeah, regardless, got a bunch of really cool stuff to play with, a couple of things to throw for some challenge videos, a couple of things just to mess around with in the future that I'm interested to try, and a couple of things for you guys as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed for some more videos in the future. Again, we do giveaways from time to time around here. That's why I have that little giveaway pile over there. So keep on the lookout in some future videos for a giveaway or 2 or 5 or whenever. So yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed and make sure you're watching all the videos so you don't miss any giveaways in the future. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me, y'all. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see some more content from me, check and wreck 'em, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.